love to do, and whatever that means. And it's okay to pivot and change. So I'm glad to hear a lot of you guys' stories, and I'm excited to see how we can all connect together. So for today, our takeaway is helping you understand that you are the focus of your business and how you can make and break your business. So we're going to try to give you guys that confidence to be able to move in the direction of making your business work for you. We're going to increase your awareness for your online presence as well as your in-person presence, which you guys are already doing here today, so I'm proud of you guys. We're going to talk about diversifying, having multiple streams of revenue that can really increase your business goals, and reaching your audience in the different types of marketing channels. So I want to say that you are going to be making a difference within your business. I think that there's a lot of power in staying in your message. You know, we have a lot of the same message that kind of overlaps a lot, Bailey and I do. And so there's definitely a power in the way that she communicates her message, and the way that I communicate mine might be different. And so you might be receptive to different people. And so even though you might feel like, oh, I just can't figure out what my niche is online, you know, you're speaking about on the online of trying to figure out who do you talk to? How do you message yourself? Because there's so many photographers out there. If you are sharing your story, people are going to connect to that reason, and they're going to want to follow you and go connect with you because you make it unique and you make it special, which is why this social media is great, because you can get your story out there pretty quickly. But then also it's great because of small business, and everybody likes to connect and support those small businesses, and you are much different than a Target. So let's try to remember that. So we are going to encourage you guys to take your action by really just utilizing you as being a part of your business. How many of you guys have a personal Facebook? Let's start with Facebook, since most of you guys said yes. You have a personal Facebook, right? Okay. Do you have a business page for your Facebook? Excellent. Okay. So I would encourage you to make sure that you have both, because you are your personal brand, and then you also have your business. So you're going to, one, cross-market, because once you post off of your personal side of things, you can say, they might not be able to understand, like, oh, I didn't even know you did that, kind of thing. So what if you post on your personal side and you link it to your business account? That's double traction. You're inviting a different type of audience into your business that you might not have ever been able to if you were only posting on your business side of things. And then once you're trying to invite your clients back into your business, they want to know, like, and trust you before they're going to sell or purchase from you. So if I really like Heidi, well, I'm going to follow whatever Heidi does because she's so stinking awesome. And so every new little adventure that she kind of jumps onto, I'm going to kind of dive into that a little bit more, because I already know Heidi. I know what she sells is going to be great. And so I'm going to continue to follow onto her journey on that, and that's what makes her special. And people want to know who you are behind the business side of things. And that kind of took me a little bit of time to kind of get used to, just like you were saying. My Facebook page was like private for quite some time, because I was like, this is mine. I kind of want this to be my own, right? But then I was realizing that these people were like asking me to be friends. I was like, I don't even know this person at all, and you want to be my friend? Like, it's so weird. And you and I were having that conversation, like, do I put it private or do I put it public? I don't know. But then I was realizing, like, this was really helpful for my business to be able to tell them a little bit about me behind the scenes of things, because they just want to know who you are. And it might seem a little bit weird, and sometimes you go into places and they're like, oh, I know you, I follow you all the time, and oh, how is the dog? And I'm like, I don't know you, which is fine. I'm glad to make those connections with people, but because they just want to be a part of your life, which is just our new era. It's just social media is the new era. So kind of embrace it, but choose what you want to post on there. So Heidi and I were kind of talking a little bit about, if you're posting your kids and you don't want that part to be the public side of things, you can go into your settings and change that out. So maybe that part's your private type of thing, because people who are just following you, they won't actually see that side on Facebook unless they're actually like your friend. So you can kind of make those adjustments and changes so that you can keep that kind of site a little bit more private. So kind of keep that in mind. Does that kind of make sense a little bit? Okay, does anyone have any questions so far? And I would love for this to just be really interactive, so please don't let me just be the person who's just like spewing at you the whole time. So please just come in and just ask the questions that you have.
I just want to make a comment.
What's that?
So if you want an example of how to do this exactly like Lauren does, follow Lauren. Follow Lauren with every day I'm shocked. I'm like, oh my gosh, cute cow videos. She's got her fluffy cows, you know, and she does lots of videos. That's not what she sells, but that's how she engages. Who doesn't want to look at cute fluffy cows? So just following her, engaging with her, engaging with others on her page will keep you motivated to keep doing the same thing. And you're going to do it with your own voice. But I find you're excellent in this.
Thank
And
you.
I'm glad you're teaching.
Well, thank you. And to kind of piggyback off of that is I was trying to figure out how, if I'm selling signs, nobody wants to feel like they're being sold to all the time. So I had to kind of figure out, like, what do I talk about that's going to make me like relatable to that other person, or what is going to kind of entice them to stay on my page. So they might want to follow me because I post these cute animals, but they choose to stay to be able to purchase from me. You know, I might get them if they like the cow video kind of thing. So with our sign company, that was kind of what it was, and then it kind of I can talk about cows because they bring so much joy and all that good stuff. And so then that's how I was realizing that we made a connection. Maybe people will reach out to you and say, oh my gosh, I have cows too, and let's connect over that. And so if you don't know, we have cows, the fluffy cows with the long horns and the long hair, and they're pretty fun and cute. And so that is a spark to talk. But just saying that there's power in that social media side of things and being able to connect with people based off of what you already love to do, because they might love that too. So it's kind of, I'm sure a lot of people won't agree with me on this because I do post a lot. Sometimes I go to places and they're like, you post more than anybody I know. That's probably true. But the thing is that if people like you, and people are somebody's, yes, they do, and you are somebody's favorite account. So somebody is going to come to your page and be like, oh, yes, this person has just posted on there. I've been looking forward to their post that all day, you know, and they want to see you. They want to see what's going on in your family, in your life, in your business. What are they doing now? What are they doing now? And what's your progress? What's your ups? What's your downs? Sharing all of those things. And one time I listened to a podcast that said something like, if you're not talking about it enough where somebody says, please shut up, then you're not talking about it enough. And that's also because your algorithm, your use of social media, not everybody's going to see your post. So all these posts that I was sharing with you, most of those are not my followers. Those are people who are random people off of the internet that have never come across my page before. And that's because your social media people are pushing your content out to people that have maybe never seen your post before. But that's okay though, because you're getting fresh new eyes, but that also means you need to tell your story. You need to reintroduce yourself because you're gonna get all these brand new eyes onto yourself too. And I only saw one post of yours that said that you were going into a new business adventure of getting new skin. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right? So that's only one post. But if I never saw it, I've only seen it one time. And I follow you and you and I are friends. So that tells me that if you've said it more times, then I'm not seeing it. So you say it more, say it louder, say it a lot more. Share it on different platforms. Ask other people to share it. Don't be afraid to ask for people to help you out. Because if they're not following you, it's a trade. If I'm giving you free content, it's okay to ask for something in return. It's a business transaction, right? So, anyways, that's kind of our spiel on that. Take action. I'm just like, just do it. You can do it. So like I was saying, we've already kind of talked a little bit about diversifying your business, but I think the really important part is that when you're diversifying your business, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, whether that's going to be on one platform, staying only on Facebook, because if your Facebook gets logged out and you don't remember the password and somebody hacks it, you've just lost everything, right? And so a lot of people have lost everything when they're doing it that way. So I'm talking about being diversifying even on the social media side of things, not just being on Instagram, be on TikTok, be on YouTube. You're already making the content, just spend the extra 30 seconds to put it on different platforms. Don't wrap up yourself in one place all at one time. And then also just minimizing the risk of using your business, like we were talking about, if you're selling physical products, or if you only have one stream of revenue, maybe that goes away. Maybe you get something that doesn't work out. Maybe in 2020 when we were talking about selling our sign companies, the wood that we were using all of a sudden was from Russia. Well, I was no longer able to get that product. So every single thing that I sold for Baltic half-inch birch, I couldn't get anymore, or it was 3 times the cost, and my client's not going to sell it, so now I have to diversify. I'm not able to sell that product anymore, or it has to look different. So if my entire business was just that one thing, I would really be out of luck, right? So don't be caught in one spot. That's kind of what I'm just encouraging you guys. So different types of streams of revenue is kind of where we're going to be moving into today. Of course, you guys, these are in your packet, so hopefully you're able to take notes and just utilize it however you need to. So different types of things. So e-commerce is your online type of business or retail. So please raise your hand. Who is online e-commerce? E-commerce. Okay. E-commerce?
Well, I've went to websites.
Okay. So, but your business is more in person.
Service.
Yes. Okay. How about hidden treasures?
No, it's good.
Okay, but do you have a platform on where people can purchase from that one? Okay, we're gonna change that. We're gonna take your Facebook account and we're gonna make it so then that way people can message you and you're gonna showcase maybe this cute new chair that has just come in and you're gonna be like, look how cute this is. Comment below if you want this one and I'll save it for you. You can pick it up on Monday. Okay, so that's gonna now translating from being only in person, but now you're also online too. So you're diversifying your streams of revenue. So then different types of services, you can have various different types of ways of reaching people. When you have your different services, you could be a consulting firm like Bailey, but then she could also be the person who actually goes out and does the multimedia creation part of it. So you can be like, she could be a coach and actually create the content. Those are 2 different streams of revenue. Okay, so same thing with photography. You could host a class about how to use a camera. Hey, if you don't feel comfortable coming to me to do boudoir photos, totally fine. Let me show you some tips and tricks on how you can take these boudoir photos on yourself, for yourself. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna set up a camera, set it up, put on a little 10-second timer, go back and do a pose, okay? That's gonna be, and I'll show you how to do that for a subscription cost. Like every month I'm gonna show you different ways of doing this, okay? Those are 2 different streams of revenue that you can have. And who knows, maybe you're gonna get out of the actual photography business and just be a coach for photographers so that you can encourage them to do the same. Does that make sense?
But I would like to have that.
There you go, and add it in. And maybe that's just gonna be how you entice people to follow your page, because you're gonna do once a week, Tuesday tips. And so you're
That's
just
how I'm
going
building my email list.
Awesome, yeah, exactly. So there you go. So now that gives you content, because that's one of the hardest things I hear people say all the time is like, I don't know what to post. I feel like I'm saying the same things over and over. So there you go. There's your idea. Run with it.
Speaking
That's all.
of which, you had mentioned earlier, it took me a while to learn how to go from posting in a salesy way
Yeah.
to just being more personal.
Cool.
So I've gotten a lot better at
Excellent.
that. And anybody in here who has trouble writing stuff up or doing the copy, I've been trying to get her on ChatGPT. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
And you can personalize how you want it to sound too, so that it actually sounds
In the
like
style of.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's called Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Chat GPT. How many of your students not been using it, my dear?
I'm
sure they are.
I've never heard of this.
It's AI. Oh, Lordy, you're gonna just die. So digital products, you can sell things digitally. So sell a course, sell just a little PDF printout of here's step 1, step 2, step 3, and it's maybe just, even if you just sell it for $1, like think about how many people you can have a little bit of extra income just by selling like a digital product that you've already done before, right? And then we're going to talk about like affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is another stream of revenue. It can get your name out there for different types of things. So that's going to be like a lot of network marketing, but there is different platforms where people can, it's called Buzz Ambassadors, and I have a list for you guys and I'll share that out for everybody. But you can say, hey, be a brand representative of me, and I'm gonna give you 10%. You're gonna turn around to talk about my brand and give your clients 10% off. So I'm giving away as a business owner 20% off, but I'm hoping that I'm gonna get more people back. So it's kind of like the couponing, right? Like if you come into my store and you get 5 hole punches, then you can turn it back in for 10% off kind of thing. Or refer a friend, those kinds of things. Utilize that, because that in-person marketing is still gonna be so powerful. And so that is your word of mouth. Think of it as like a sharing on social media, but just in person. A little bit about reaching your audience, and you guys were saying that's kind of a pain point for some of you. It's just figuring out who do you talk to, how do you reach where they're at. And I think it really comes back down to where are your clients spending your time? Where are you going to get your most return of investment? Now, if you have an online platform, you are able to see like on your website, like where is this traffic coming from? Where have these people purchased from me? I have the most engagement, so I'm going to take my sign company. I have the most engagement using Instagram, but the buyers come from Facebook. So they might be going to Instagram to just enjoy and be entertained, but then their buying mode happens when they're on Facebook. So that's why I push my content on both platforms, because somebody's there just scrolling because they just enjoy life, but then they're actually going, oh, I see that, I remember I wanted to make that purchase. I'm gonna actually go to her page and purchase directly from there. And I see that because I can see like from Facebook, where does it drive traffic? It generated like $100 from Facebook. Does that kind of make sense? So there is the benefits of using like an online platform website to be able to really just track that. But you can understand your metrics too. Ask your clients, where are you coming from? You can give them a code that is like specifically like Facebook. And you can say like, hey, use your code or mention your code the next time that you're at a session with me, and that way I know you came from Facebook, you're following me from Facebook. That way you know where. Yeah, awesome, that's great. And that way you can understand like, where do I want to generate my time? We do not have an unlimited amount of time, so use the most beneficial way for your time. So again, understanding where you can connect with your opportunities for your customers. You're building that brand loyalty by being on multiple different platforms, because something that might be my favorite is not going to be somebody else's cup of tea. So if we have all of the same brand going on at the same time, you were saying like I use the word simply on a lot of my stuff, but also colors make a big difference too. And so if your logo looks the same, if you have a Facebook post, a picture of your face on Facebook, make sure it's the same exact picture on Instagram and the same one on YouTube. That way when they go in a platform hop, they are saying, oh, I know which photo I'm looking for. Heidi's photo has a purple background, that kind of thing. And that will really help too. So that will really just encourage you guys to figure out where you want to spend your time, and where you can engage with your clients. Bailey spoke a lot about engaging with your clients and your customers online. If they know that you are going to respond back, then they're going to more likely to respond back to you. Even share their comment. You can do a little respond post on there too, and be like, oh, I love that this person said this comment, and that made. You can use it as your content. You can ask, if somebody asks you a question, you can reuse that content, and that can be a way for you to say, to answer the public essentially, but it gives you also something else that you can talk about that you don't have to generate yourself. So some of the platforms to consider, we talked a lot about social media because that's free, unless you're paying for the ads, but it's free, so utilize it, it's out there for you. But your online marketplaces too, so like if you are on Amazon or Etsy, so you're selling a lot of your stuff, but have you opened up the doors to Etsy yet? Good. Okay. Hopefully, you can start to see some success for that. That would be great. There's a wholesale markets that you can be a part of called like Fair. There's lots of different types of ways that you can do that. You can be a part of different types of organizations. So for like your house cleaning, maybe you can join a group that's just for like McAlester Moms, and you can kind of jump into that group and see if you can get some people a part of that, and just kind of joining in on your online marketplaces. Facebook Marketplace is a great place you can offer up your sales services. Have you done that yet? No? Okay. So Facebook Marketplace is great. We sell cookies for Mother's Day and for Teacher Appreciation, and I posted it out there, and people were making purchases just using Facebook Marketplace.
Do you boost?
I have not done boosting. I've done it like once or twice. I've listened to somebody saying that it's not as beneficial it's more beneficial to run a strategic Facebook ad as opposed to just doing a boost. We're going to go back to diversifying a little bit about this physical retail locations, because we have some physical boost locations for people too in this room. So hidden treasures, we're going to kind of touch bases off that. Are you following Common Roots at all in the downtown
Yes.
Kristen's? Okay,
Yes.
so she does a really great job on, she creates like a private group where she's giving her clients like a brand new look at what's coming, right? So this could be like, I'm gonna have a sale coming up here, so be on the lookout for this. But she also posts like, I've got 5 stickers, comment below with your email, and that way I can send you an invoice. And people will, that's her brand new way. She doesn't have to set up a website or anything, so it's not anything additional, but that's another stream of revenue of a physical location, but and also an online market. So hopefully maybe we can kind of add to your Facebook endeavors on there. So we talked a little bit about the different types of platforms. We're gonna just kind of share with you, TikTok is great for face videos now. It's kind of like the new YouTube. They're all gonna be vertical posts, so you are not too old to get onto Facebook, okay? I mean, onto TikTok. You're not too old. It's not just dancing anymore. It's actually a lot more of storytelling. So you are a talker. You should get onto TikTok. Yes, get onto TikTok. You are there. 1 minute posts, and you will be paid per 1 minute post.
I would use a hand puppet.
Do it.
Because
That
I'm
would
not
be
gonna
actually
use
even
my
better.
Make it look just like you.
Yes.
Like the
Oh,
puppet version.
yeah.
I love it.
No, stealth mode.
No, or how about like,
Special rules just for me.
how about on Friends, you know, Phoebe's little, you look like a friend. Right? And do it, please. I would love to see that. And people would share that because they'd be like, look at this guy with a hand puppet. That's gonna draw people in. But TikTok, that is gonna be a lot more of your storytelling. So tell me the story behind what you're creating. You know, you're knitting something, you're crocheting, whatever the story is. How did this come to be? Set up your camera and you're just, as you're working, people want to see that. And so TikTok is a great place for that side of things. Facebook and Instagram, if you have not connected those two just yet, it's called Meta Business Suite. And it's just a little app. After this, I would be happy to help you guys connect those two together. Because everything that you do on Facebook will automatically push over to Instagram. So don't make more work for yourself. Just make it work for you. Put those two together. And then YouTube is long form content. Also, it is YouTube Shorts. So same thing that you're doing on Reels for Instagram is the same thing as Shorts. So I know this is a lot of information. There's a lot of platforms to think about. So my encouragement for you is to stick with one. A lot of you guys all say Facebook right now. So I want to encourage you guys to stick with that one, but add in one more. So link in your Instagram. Okay? So that's your goal here today, is to leave here. If you are already on Facebook, link in your Instagram so that way you're diversifying your 2 platforms. Can we all agree with that?
Does that they say also that it takes like what, 7 times for a potential customer to see you before?
It's more now.
30.
It's definitely a lot more. So that's what I was saying. If you're not annoying people
Well, that's
with
what
your
they say. It's like a
content,
billboard. You keep seeing it every day. Eventually, you're gonna go to that restaurant. So they keep seeing your face every day in your post, and eventually they're gonna dive into it.
and like you said, like I might see your post, but it might not be the content that you actually want your client to see. Maybe I'm only seeing your family photos, but I'm not seeing like your business photos, just because maybe I've engaged with the family photo once, and so that's what it's choosing to show me. So that's why you gotta keep pushing your other stuff too. So, but you're right. You're more apt to do something, the more likely you see it. So now we're gonna kind of move into this. We're wrapping up your different types of marketing channels. I just want to encourage you guys to think about the different ways that you can talk to your clients outside of just using social media, because there is times where, oh great, the entire cell phones have just gone away, right? There was that one day where nobody could make a single post, everybody's internet was down, nobody could call anybody, and that's gonna happen. Well, how else can you reach your audience outside of just using social media? So our world is not still all social media. It still has a lot of power of being in-person events and marketing when you go to actual businesses. So a couple of these different ones I have on here. Email is really powerful. There's a lot of different sites that you can use. The little in your booklet there is a QR code. Open up your camera, scan over it, and that's going to take you to a list of a bunch of different types of platforms that I use or have used or would recommend. So a couple of the different email sites that, that one or on the other page. That one's going to just take you to this platform.
Okay.
The very third page over here. Yep, this one. That's going to be giving you, yes, so it's on that colorful page. That one is going to give you the the different types of like email marketing. So it's for a pretty low cost. I think one I'm using right now is $29 a month, but that allows me to be able to market to my clients, giving them an inside look, giving them coupons, and there's an open rate. You can see how often people are purchasing from you or opening up your items. So if you have a cleaning business, you could be telling your story of success or giving them tips and tricks, what your top cleaning products that you would recommend for them. That's going to be knowledge for the person to be able to want to subscribe to your email. So email is not dead. We all still see our emails, whether you choose to read them or not. You're still getting them, right? And there's going to be a way that you guys can use your email to your advantage. So with just a little bit of bread and butter to be able to get into that. And then text marketing. How many of you guys have ever received a text market or a text email marketing? You just did the, do you not like it? No? Why?
I don't like the unsolicited ones.
Okay, I agree with that. But tell me a little bit more why of like you're like, I'm not a huge fan. Do you have another reason?
It clutters things up in my.
Because you immediately get it and you
Yes.
look at it? Is that because the phone is with you a lot of the time? Okay, so you're telling me that
Oh,
you're
it
telling me
works.
that text marketing
Oh
works.
yeah, it works, but it's super annoying.
It can be, if you're not subscribed to the person that you like, right? Now, we use text marketing for our sign company and email marketing, both of them. Which one do you think is more powerful? Text marketing. I see more return of investment. It costs me more, but I receive about $90 more using my text marketing than I do email.
The other thing that's irritating, the ones that I'm signed up for, they send like 3 and 4 a day.
Yeah, I can understand that. So,
Oh my goodness.
So as a business
One
owner-
a day, 2 or
Doesn't
3
make
times
any
a
sense to
week.
me.
yeah, but as a business owner,
I'm gonna
now
opt out.
right, and so you have to do better. So you're gonna learn from other people and realize, okay, that's a little excessive. Let's move it back a little bit to maybe once a week. Or strategically, like, please do not text me at 6 o'clock in the morning, old lady. They do that, which I'm like, I'm
Well, you
grateful
can
for your
schedule
50%
those,
off,
though. You
but
can
I
schedule
don't.
when they go
I'm
out.
not.
Except
You
for-
can keep that in mind. So again, using that QR code will pull you up with a couple of the different text marketing things. Just try it out. Just see what happens. And just ask them to be your friend out there, because that's a great way to just do like a quick reminder, especially if you're going to be doing like an in-person sale on that day. So like Hidden Treasures, hey, we're going to be changing our hours today. You know, or we have an update of hours, that's gonna send it out to that. If I was unhitched and I'm gonna talk to Rachel about this, I'm gonna tell Rachel, you need to send me out an email of where your a text message of where your change of location is, and send me a picture of your menu, because then that way I can already, or you can feel free to text me and I will have your order already ready for you by the time you get here, because you're gonna come and get lunch from me, okay? So that's gonna be a way that you can communicate with your people. Subscription services, this is going to be a great way where you can encourage your people to be a part of what you're already doing. Like we talked about with being a brand ambassador and having people join a part of you. But also, so for $5 a month, you're going to come in and you get to have a grab bag. So from our Hidden Treasures, I'm going to have this whole back corner, and everything in here, if you're a part of our membership service, then this whole corner is open to you. You guys get first pick, and that's going to be for $5. Everything in there is $5. So go and fill your bag as much as you can. You can give them a little brown bag or one of those like little totes. And so we're talking about how do you pivot? How do you encourage people to be a residual income for you? So subscription models would be beneficial. So if I was photography, I would look over there and say, okay, for photography, I am going to do, you purchase today, but I'm going to give you 4 sessions throughout the whole year. You schedule them whenever you want to. And it's going to be at a discounted rate, but you schedule them whenever you want to. And guess what? They might not even actually use all 4 of them. So you're going to still, right, but guess what? In the small print, I'm going to say if you don't use this by January 31st, it expires, which is great because then you get 50% more if they only use 2 of the service. Now you are upselling yourself, right? Because they chose not to use the rest of them, or it just didn't end up working out. Or maybe they used the 4 and then they still have half the year left and they realize, I need 4 more kind of thing, right? So that's going to be kind of like a similar subscription model for you. Okay?
See, I have a Patreon account too, and
Awesome.
I've been waiting to launch that,
Yeah.
What am I saying? So it's like, what term do they have to sell on there? I'm not already giving them Facebook.
Okay, I understand that. So maybe we can kind of brainstorm a little bit.
Like a micro course. I've been a
Like
photographer
the
since the
help-
'70s,
the
and I'm
help
telling you,
tips?
I have specific tips for boudoir because, for example, paramount lighting.
Mhm.
So if there are inconsistencies in someone's texture, you want to hide that. You want to make everybody look as beautiful as they see themselves and as they feel they are. If you do forensic lighting, you're going to see every flaw, right? So don't hold your cell phone up or a flashlight and take pictures. Do this. If people love to see the do this, because they don't think of it, or you can't search for stuff on Google like you used to be able to.
No.
But
It's
you
YouTube
search
for
that
sure.
stuff on TikTok, and then that's where people
For
find
real.
it.
Yeah,
For real.
true.
TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah. Because
Until
I'd
it goes
rather watch
away.
a
But
60
YouTube
second
is
video
still
than
strong.
a 30-minute video.
YouTube is still strong. So,
Like, we're in
go
there.
ahead.
No, I was gonna add that on social media, your stories on Instagram, Facebook, you can link them together.
Yeah.
But that's a good way to get like your followers involved too, because they may not see your post or they may only watch your stories. Like I watch Lauren's stories like every day on her Instagram.
Yeah.
And I may not see her reels, but
Yeah.
she'll post her reels on her story, so I will go from her story to look at her reels. So your stories, like sometimes I can look at my stories on Facebook and they may have 400 views, but that's 400 people I've reached just from my story
Yeah.
alone.
When your posts might only have 26,
Right.
which is kind of frustrating, but that's where you have to go where your audience is. Where do you spend your time? Because like you, I'm realizing I get way more engagement off of using stories than I do any of my posts. But I have to be really strategic of, okay, stories only live for 24 hours, so I have to
Gotta
be
be mindful to re-up it.
well, yeah, re-up it, but also to what do I want to live forever? What do I want people to search for? Because if they're like, oh, go to my page, if you're just gonna come and figure out what my life is about, you're gonna go to my feed and scroll, right? As opposed to go right into stories. You only go into stories once you know, like, and trust them, and you want to figure out more about that person. You want to see the behind the scenes. But if you just want to vet them to realize if I want to even follow them or not, what you have to pick and choose. What do you want to live on your page that's gonna stay there?
On Instagram, you can, what is it called? I went blank. You know, you can
Pin
save
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can pin it.
Well, no, on the stories, what's it
Oh,
called?
highlights.
Highlights, yeah, you say, like I said, a lot of stuff under highlights, so if they do disappear, people
Yeah.
can go back and look at your highlights.
Yeah, let me show you that real fast. Yeah, so you can see right here, like I was saying, these are all called highlights.
And make those pretty, like hers are, that's how mine are.
And you can go to our website and download them for free. And you can edit them yourself.
Available now.
So this is where you're gonna add your stories. So I know we're talking a lot about Instagram, but this is where you're gonna add your stories. So anytime it has a color around it, that means like Lauren's added something that might be new that you haven't seen yet. You can click in there. And then this is your story, so that are gonna live here forever. Okay. One more thing too, we were talking about that brand recognition and making sure whatever you were talking about for your content on every platform needs to be the same. So we were talking about name, whatever name that you have, make sure it's the same on every single one of them. And then on Instagram specifically, because remember, you're leaving today and you're connecting your Facebook and your Instagram. That's your homework. I'm gonna follow up with each one of you, okay? And we're connecting those together. Your name is searchable. So I know Heidi, but I don't remember her last name. That's okay. When I search for Heidi, at least Heidi's name is in there. If I go to somebody's business page and that person's name, and it's a small business, and they don't have their name on there, when I'm going and want to ask a question, I'm not one of those people who is like, hey, I don't know who I'm talking to. I would much rather it be like, hey Sash, how are you? And then I can ask my question to connect to it a little bit better because I want to know who I'm talking to. So make sure that is, because I might remember Sash, I don't remember what her business name is. That's okay, because this is still searchable. I can go Choctaw or I can go Sash, okay? And then this part is also searchable too. So what do you want to be known for? So hidden treasures. Tell me a little bit about your business. Is it upcycled? Is it bargain bin? What 3 words would you describe your business?
New, used, handmade.
Okay, perfect. Then you're gonna put that right there. Because if somebody's looking for that, antiques, that is gonna pop up for somebody who's searching for that and they might find your business, okay? So having those 2 things as your title or your name is all searchable. So make sure that those work really well. And then this is your bio. It's short and sweet in a line, okay? Not a paragraph. And put in a couple emojis because it breaks things up a little bit for you. And then these people right here, this is not for you. This is for your client. What are you doing to serve them? I'm encouraging you to live your best life, okay? Here are the different topics that I'm going to be talking about to decide if you even want to follow me or not, okay? These are maybe how you can live your best life. You guys are going to learn to bake. This is so fun. And my plug is I also have a podcast. Before this, I had like my book in there, so it's like by the Winston book, and I had my plug for that in my location. Because I'm weird like that, and I want to know like who is this person? Where is their location happening? Especially if you're a small business, you want to know location based. So especially if you're a photographer and you came across my page because you just posted something that went viral, I want to book with you. Oh, you're all the way out in Oklahoma. Well, I'm in New Jersey. I'm not. That doesn't connect with me. But if you don't have it on your page, I will never know. Okay. So make sure that works out for you. And then you can have a link or your website, a call to action, encouraging people to join your email list, join your Facebook, because you can connect your Facebook right here. Okay, either one of those. Good to go?
My question was, how many hours a day do you work? Or how many hours a week do you devote to marketing?
Do you want my answer or do you want my husband's answer?
I want your husband's answer.
My husband's answer says, you are on social media all the time.
Yeah.
But it does take a little bit of time. I mean,
And that's not a bad thing. I'm just
I mean,
saying,
I
it's
would-
an investment,
It is
right?
an investment. I can definitely do better on social media if I prioritized my time better. If I am a scroller and then being like, save. Oh, I can make a reel that's really like that. Save. I really like that idea too. Save. Instead of going purposefully into social media by being like, I'm not even gonna open up to view anybody else's, I'm just here to make content, then I would be spending half the time that I would be on social media. So if you're like him and you don't use social media for your personal use, you just use it for business, you could definitely cut your time in half. But if you are also like oh, this is so fun, I love seeing all of these things, then
Maybe you
that
don't know
increases.
what's trending. if
That's
you don't
true.
Do that.
Mhm,
you
that's
know,
true.
You're not getting the feedback from
And
it.
I've seen some people who will say that they'll go onto social media and they'll say, I'm only gonna spend 10 minutes of figuring out what the market is and then moving on.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I've seen that, but to kind of answer your question, I mean, I probably spend at least an hour a day on it.
Honestly, I'm gonna spend 30, maybe 4 seconds, and of course I'm not gonna get anything, but I would rather buy a report from someone
Oh, yeah.
who is
That makes
doing
sense.
it every day. So sentiment analysis, what's good, what's not. Oh, this news thing happened, I didn't hear about, so this keyword is not cool anymore.
There you go. And for somebody like Heidi, you've been in network marketing, you know what works and what doesn't work in order to get your understanding. So for someone like him, he doesn't want to do the scrolling in that market research, but that can be how you can diversify your business. You can sell to New Skin next to you.
You could
and
tell
say,
me too.
hey,
I would buy that.
yeah,